What is up, you guys? It's your boy Polly Hotshot here, and today I'm going to be giving a beginner's guide to salmon fishing in 2026. Okay, so as a beginner, I understand it's very hard to get into salmon fishing and all of that. It's very difficult to start out, but when you eventually get the rhythm, it becomes a lot of fun. It's definitely worth it in my opinion. And also, it just gets easier with time. Like, it becomes second nature to you. Like, you just become a salmon fisherman over a couple years of fishing out and stuff. Like, eventually you'll start learning the colors, the depth, like where the fish are going. Like, you'll start to figure it out over just with time, but this is a bit of a guide to help out. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is rods. For me, so what I do as a salmon fisherman, I just run lead core and mono pretty much. But for me, what I like for lead core is a Okuma Magda. This is a MA 45 DXT. This reel is probably around 8 years old and it is still going strong every single time I go out. This is a 5 color. This one is an amazing reel. Lots of people say that the convectors and the cold waters, those are amazing reels. I 100% agree because I've used them before, and sure, I do think that they are better, but this one, these are perfectly fine. For a beginner especially, you'll save around 50 bucks a reel if you go with these. And also for the rod, I like to use the Okuma Classic Pro GLT copper slash lead core for lead cores. Um, Lead core rods I do not cheap out on just because lead core is one of those things where if you go a little bit cheaper on it, something's gonna go wrong usually. I mean, you can use the Okuma Classic Pro rods, which I will be talking about shortly here, but the copper lead cores I feel like are definitely worth it for leads. Now for dipsies and downriggers, right now I am running Classic Pros here. This is a dipsy rod of mine. This is like a 9 foot or something. It is a I don't know, it doesn't say, I don't think. But this is a Okuma Classic Pro rod. And this is a Penn Rival 30W or LWLC. Um, the truth is that the Magdas will work perfectly fine for dipsies as well, or divers. I've been using them for years there. But this is just what I currently have. I like it just because it's a nice reel. And you definitely want to use longer rods for um divers just because it'll help get the diver out there. For my other rods, I'm usually running 8'6" for downriggers, and then for this one, it's like a 9 foot something. But for some odd reason, it doesn't say what it is, so I can't tell you guys. But yeah, I have no idea. It just says like what line it can hold. But anyways, that's downriggers. 8'6" classic pro rods with an Okuma Magda, the same reel that I was talking about for lead core. That's perfectly fine for both riggers. And then for dipsies, the same reel with just classic pros and longer. Um, I think it's like a 9 foot or something, but definitely that is the way to go for divers. And then for lead cores, the classic pro GLT copper lead core with a Magda will work just fine for you. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is divers. For me, I would 100% recommend the Dreamweaver deeper divers. For me, I just feel like they're more high quality than some other options, and I use them all the time, to be honest. Also, I've heard a lot of good stuff about the Ninja divers yet, but I haven't tried them a bunch, so I'm not going to say about it right now. It's too close to call for me, but definitely the black version of the deeper diver is definitely what I would recommend for that. Also, boards. So for me, I use the walleye board or the wally board. Either way, they're bright orange. Or also, I have heard a bunch of stuff about the Dreamweaver Ninja boards, and they're pretty similar, I've heard from people. So, but for me, just over the years, I've been using the walleye boards for so long. They're bright orange, and they usually have a fisherman on the box with a giant walleye. I don't know why, but they just do. And those I've been using forever, to be honest. I would 100% recommend that or the Dreamweaver Ninja boards. I personally haven't used the Dreamweaver Ninja boards yet, but tons of my friends have, and everybody says that they're great. Also, for cannonballs, I can't really recommend a specific brand for cannonballs specifically, just because the ones that I have, I love them, and they make them up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. But I genuinely have no idea what the brand is or who makes them, to be honest. I'm sorry. But also for releases, the high tension, the cannon, or the offshore tackle, the red ones, those are the ones that you want because they are going to work way better. Just put the line like halfway in the clip and then just clip it and then let your line down. Either the manual riggers, I would recommend a downrigger brake from Northeast Troller if you do have manual riggers. It helps out a ton. But if you don't, that's fine. And also, I would recommend the Canon automatic ones. Those ones are amazing. If you can afford to get those are absolutely perfect. There is no complaint about it. And also for my line, I usually use Berkeley Big Game 30-pound mono. Everybody says that to use 20, 25-pound, but for me, I've just snapped off so many fish doing that. It's just like, to me, it's not worth the risk of having more line with less pound test. For me, the 30-pound is definitely the way to go. That's what I would recommend. I will stand by that. That is the tried and true system. 30-pound is perfect, especially if you're fishing for kings. If you're fishing for cohos in the springtime and the springtime only, maybe you could get away with like 20-pound. That's fine. But as the season goes on for me, I don't know about you, but I don't like to change my line throughout the season depending on what time it is. So for me, I just use 30-pound all year for everything. And also for leaders, a leader is basically just like a piece of line with swivels, snap swivels on each end. So you can connect like a flasher like this on one side. So like you clip it back here and then there's line. And then you can clip like a spoon behind it. This rig was amazing for me recently. But anyways, you clip it behind it and then the flasher does its thing and the spoon does its thing. For leaders, I would recommend the Berkeley Big Game 50-pound. That stuff is perfect. So basically, you can connect a flasher like this and a spoon like this. So the flasher does its thing and the spoon does its own thing. And Berkeley 30-pound is the perfect line to be using. About an 8-foot lead between these works very well for me. But Berkeley 30-pound is the line to be using for leaders. Alright, so now I'm just going to give some recommendations on some lures that have been tried and true to me forever, pretty much. Like, for me, one of these lures that I'm going to recommend is a little bit on the newer side, one or two, but they've been absolutely amazing since I've thrown them in the water. So, the first thing I'm going to go over is flashers. This 5.5-inch Coho Speed Flasher from Northeast Troller in the Coho Killer color has been one of my best flashers this year. If not my best. I think this has been my best. For even big kings, like 15-pound kings, which is pretty big for right now, since where I'm fishing, they let the fish naturally reproduce 4 years ago, and so they're a little bit smaller right now. But in a month or so, they'll be running, and they'll be pretty decent size, like 18, 20, I think. But this Coho Speed Flasher, it's only 5.5 inches, but do not underestimate it. I've gotten hits from massive kings on this thing with this Green Jeans Super Slim in the RV with about an 8-foot lead in between. They absolutely love this thing. This is one of my best flashers. This is one of my favorites. Alright, so the next flasher I can recommend is the Dreamweaver 11-inch paddle and the white double slick. So, Basically, my point of view on this is that either the Spin Doctor and the 8, 10 inch, and also this one, I have all three just because this is one of my favorite colors. The tried and true. Definitely all of them will work great. I mean, I've gotten fish on all three of them, and with a pickled sunshine fly behind it. Also, I would recommend putting a pickled sunshine behind this too if you want to. But for me, flies just haven't really been working that well this year yet. I think the water is just a little cold still, and it's not quite that time of year yet. Um, so pickled sunshine behind a white or black double slick, I would highly recommend. And then the last one is a Dreamweaver Spin Doctor and the 10-inch Spotted Richard. This one, I don't see a bunch of people talking about it, but it is one of my most underrated lures. I would recommend this with a pickled sunshine or a mirage fly from Rapture, or I'm pretty sure Dreamweaver also makes one. But this Spin Doctor, I've caught tons of fish on it over the years, and it has been a true old reliable. Also, quick mention to the Kevin's girlfriend with a pickled sunshine behind it, obviously. That and the pickled sunshine meat rig have been absolutely amazing for me over the years. The truth is that Kevin's girlfriend is probably the best paddle ever made, if not the best. It is the best, never mind. That one with a pickled sunshine, I do not have one to show you because I couldn't find it. I think I misplaced it, which is kind of making me freak out a little bit because that's my favorite flasher ever made. But that it's got pearl on one side and blue on the other side, and it's a green blade, and it is in the 10-inch Spin Doctor. So chuck that out with a pickled sunshine behind it, meat rig or fly. Meat rig has been very good this year. Tried and true pickled sunshine meat rig. But that flasher with the pickled sunshine behind it, any of them is the best. Pickled sunshine will probably work with any flasher though. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to talk about plugs. So, for the August-September range for the salmon run of the year, that is the best time to go fishing in my opinion. But I'm just going to be talking about some great lures during it for plugs. I also made a video about J plugs. It's called Tips for J plugs or J plugs 101. It's got tips for J plugs on the thumbnail. But anyways, I mentioned these, but I'm gonna mention them again. The Atomic Chrome color 900 it is on their website. This little 4-inch classic is absolutely amazing. It has been tried and true for me over many years. One of my best lures. Do not underestimate the basic chrome. One of their favorite colors. So yeah, Kings absolutely love basic chrome. So yeah, I would highly recommend this one. And then I've got the Silver Horde Double White Quote. I mean, this one's got blood on it right here. You can obviously see how well this one has worked for me. This one is one of my best, to be honest. This one is absolutely amazing. Just like, don't underestimate the basics with these two. Lots of people just say it's too boring, like they're not going to want it. But these two basics, this is all you need pretty much, to be honest. I have a couple more to recommend, but these two, I could probably get a limit of fish by chucking these out there in August. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about the Silver Horde Green Splatterback. This thing has been great for me over the past few years. Green splatterback, absolutely amazing. The green and the blue splatterback, I snapped my blue one off though. But this is a 4-inch. But I used to have a 5-inch, but I think I also snapped it. But these splatterbacks, do not underestimate these. These basic also are amazing from Silver Horde. Alright, and the last one I have to recommend, my best plug ever, is the Silver Horde White Lightning. This one is very hard to come by. They did a huge restock this year, but if you can find this, grab all of them off that shelf. All right, like for me, I personally have 9 of these things just waiting to be tossed out there because of how good it is. All right, this one is the best plug ever invented. Also, the Wonder Bread from Northeast Troller is great. I have a custom painted one that I made myself, but the Northeast Troller is very similar in the green glow. But this Silver Horde White Lightning is the best plug ever made. All right, so now that concludes it for plugs. So we talked about plugs, flashers, and tackle. Now the last thing that we have to talk about, but certainly not least, is spoons. All right, the first one I have to recommend to you guys is the Bloody Nose from. This is an original moonshine back when they were made in the USA. If you've also go and watch my Spoons 101 video, that one is absolutely amazing for spoons overall. It gives you a bunch of great colors for starting out. But this RV Bloody Nose has been phenomenal for me. This is an original moonshine, but Stranglehold makes it now, and they are almost identical to the original moonshines. Here is the Stranglehold version. Very, very similar. This one is a standard, but they also make it in the RV, and Moonshine did make it in the standard. So both of these are tried and true, amazing spoons. Then we have got the good old reliable Mr. Chrome Radioactive. This is statistically one of my best spoons ever. Um, Fish absolutely love this one all year round. One of my best spoons. If you put it out there, you're going to get a fish, guaranteed. Then I have the green, the not green. I have the green jeans from Dreamweaver Super Slim. This one is phenomenal in the standard and the RV. This is the RV version, but they both work great. Then for you guys, I have the Stranglehold Camo Kong. This thing is a leg core killer. I talked about this one in the Spoons 101 video. It's even still got a piece of salmon lip right there on here. I don't know if you can see it or not. But this one is one of the best, if not the best, leg core lure. Then I have two more. This is an original moonshine back from the US. Same thing with the Bloody Nose. This is the Blue Flounder. Stranglehold makes one very similar. They call it Blue Flounder 2.0. But it's just got a slightly different eye up here. It's just got a white dot in the center. But it's pretty much identical. Amazing lure. Would highly recommend the Stranglehold version. Then I have an original moonshine. This is the RV Wonder Bread. This thing almost never leaves my boat. It's always pretty much going out in the mornings or when it gets dark out at night. This thing's always going out there. One of the best spoons ever made. Absolutely amazing. It's chewed up down here. I don't know if you could see it or not, but it is chewed. Like, this tape is fraying. Absolutely amazing spoon. So, anyways, you guys, that pretty much concludes it for this video. I really appreciate all of the support I've gotten recently from you guys. You guys are the best. I'm very thankful for the community that I do have. You guys are amazing. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you're not already to help me out so I can keep making these types of videos. I have some fishing videos coming out very, very soon. So I'm very excited to put those out for you guys so then you guys can watch some different stuff. Also, just watching like other people catch fish, you can learn stuff from it, like what lure the fish bit or bited, whatever you want to say. And whatever the fish like. So to be honest, you guys, that pretty much concludes it for this video. Thank you so much for all the support. I'll see you later, but until then, goodbye.